Hi, everyone. Still me, Kevin McCormack, Executive Director for Bella. And if you watched my last message, and I know you didn't, I referenced needing a haircut badly. And now I have one at the hands of our 15-year-old. Trust me, it could have gone much worse. And I think it would have had he not been supervised by his mom. So look, I'm thankful that we made it to May. And since we started this summer resources campaign, I feel really so fortunate that we've been able to work with such a variety of people and organizations, all of whom have been so generous with their time. I wanted to spotlight a couple of the new resources for you this week. Today, we wrapped a live webinar and video conversation with our summit partner, SAI Global, featuring Rebecca Turco specifically, as she was joined by Fernanda Baraldi from Cummins and Latoya Hackney from TE Connectivity. And they discussed many of the changes that are influencing their compliance and ethics strategy, working across global teams, markets, different members of the employee population, and more. My colleague Craig Moss had a video conversation with two privacy experts from Baker McKenzie, one partner based in the US, another partner based in Europe, where they discussed issues such as employee and visitor screening, other health scenarios, regulatory ambiguity, and cross-border impact for multinationals. In fact, I was just on a virtual roundtable yesterday where these privacy issues continue to be near the top of mind as companies prepare for at least a phased return to the workplace. And speaking of the workplace, Ethisphere just published volume 1 of the World's Most Ethical Companies Insights and Practices series. And volume 1 is appropriately themed remotely managing a global compliance program effectively. And it captures some insights as it relates to structure, the use of internal committees and liaisons, due diligence and M&A transactions, and more. Each of these resources are now available on the Summit Resources page, so do take a moment or two to go out and see what's available and check out the new resources in particular. Here's what's coming up over the next few weeks. On May 20th, we will introduce a new webinar with Summit partner Everfi, in particular Everfi's Senior Vice President for Workplace Culture, Elizabeth Owens-Beal, who always brings such interesting background and client insight into these conversations. And together with compliance leaders from Western Digital and LabCorp, and led by our very own Erica Salmon Byrne, they'll be talking about preserving cultural strengths, but preparing for changes, and how data, measurement, and a new sense of safety are key to the path forward. Next week, we're going to take a virtual trip to Japan. As the general counsel for Panasonic, Larry Bates, has a morning/evening conversation with the CEO for True Office, Neha Gupta. This might just be our first trans-Pacific video interview, and throughout that discussion, leaders will explore part of the legacy of a century-old business, the dichotomy of Japanese business culture and governance as it relates to other parts of the world, and adapting to extraordinary changes globally, and more. We're working with the European compliance lead for Archer Daniels Midland to share some of the details in putting together their joint venture and M&A playbook, and how this has really enabled compliance to have a stronger position and seat at the table as they prepare for these deals, transactions, and the due diligence cycle. The Chief Ethics and Compliance Officer from Cardinal Innovations Healthcare, Samantha Kellen, is going to speak with us about how she is looking at return to work scenarios, policy decision-making, and how this crisis has actually created opportunities for compliance and ethics leaders to tell more of their story to the business. We just continue to have a lot in the works, and I hope you will be returning to the Summit Resources page each week to find something new that can help support you in your work and your thought process. But hey, on a lighter side, I hope you are also finding some ways to have a bit of fun despite the ongoing social distancing efforts right now. One thing that I wish I could share with you, but I cannot, is our virtual company happy hour, which this past Friday had a Kentucky Derby theme. Some fabulous attire, some interesting attire, and a range of Derby-inspired libations, and some important and appropriately judged fields of competition. I will highlight one person among the winners, and that was our VP for Strategic Accounts, Randy Klatt. Many of you know Randy, and he submitted this for Best Ensemble. Although I'm sorry to say that not 5 seconds after this photo, he blew out his ankle. And sadly, we had to put Randy down. The risk of an old horse trying to balance on one leg, folks. Anyway, everyone, please keep your health in balance. And thanks for humoring me with this collection of short videos. Stay well.